For the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about notifications, wherein we saw things like conversations, do not disturb, device app notifications, and things like that. Today, though, I simply want to go through some of the remaining items here and mention those things in passing, and this will include things like the following. We will start with notification history.
Notification history. Show recent and snoozed notifications.
Notification history. In other words, if you have swiped away a notification from the notification center or you have snoozed a notification, for example, and you don't have access to those, you could come back here. That is, go back into your system settings and then tap on notifications and then on notification history. And herein you'll see all of those notifications that you've swiped away or those that you have snoozed. The next item we want to talk about here is bubbles.
Bubbles. On conversations can appear as floating icons.
What are bubbles? In other words, if you do not want to every time go to your notification shade to see the notification that has just come in or something like that. For example, let's say you are working on an app and you have enabled bubbles, then what happens is that when you get a notification, it will show up as a little bubble. It could be at the bottom right, bottom left, top right, or top left corner of your phone, depending on where you choose to have those bubbles placed. And therefore, you can just simply interact with that notification there by simply tapping on that bubble. Let's move to the next item.
Notifications on lock screen. Don't show any notifications.
Notifications on lock screen. Now, some of you may have your notifications showing up on the lock screen. In other words, when you hit that power button and the lock screen shows, you could see your notifications right there on the lock screen and you could interact with those. Now, for me personally, I have mine turned off. So when you tap in here, you have the option to whether to let them show on your lock screen or not. And in my case, I have them turned off. You can go in here and change how you want to see your notifications, whether you want to see them on the lock screen or not. Let's move to the next one.
Sensitive notifications. Show sensitive content when locked, off, switch.
Here we're talking about sensitive notifications, and it's totally up to you. As you can see, I have mine turned off. You could choose, however, to let these things get shown on your lock screen. In other words, things that are not meant for prying eye, you can hide those, and that's what this is all about. You could turn them off. I think that by default, these things are turned off, but if you want to turn them on, you can turn them on by simply tapping on this switch, and you'll toggle that on. Let's move to the next one.
Skip lock screen. After unlocking, go directly to last used screen, on, switch.
So in other words, when you get to that lock screen and you get past it, it's going to take you to where you last were. And in this case, where I was on my home screen, it'll take me to my home screen. Next item. The next item that we have here is wireless notifications.
Wireless emergency alerts.
These are the alerts that you hear, like an Amber alert or something of that sort. If you tap here, you could go enable it. I think I have mine enabled. Let's move on to the next one.
Hide silent notifications in status bar, off, switch.
We have the hide silent notifications. In other words, in the notification shade, we have two categories of notifications. We have those at the top that are basically active notifications, and then below that, we have a heading for silent notifications. Now, if you don't want silent notifications, you could turn this one on. Therefore, when you get a notification that is supposed to be a silent notification, it's not going to be shown on your notification shade. Now, silent notifications are those notifications that don't make any noises. You can, however, choose to make them notifications that make noises, and therefore they'll be moved from the silent notification category to those that make the dong ding dong sounds. Next item.
Allow notification snoozing, on, switch.
Allow the notification snoozing. If you allow that, like I have mine allowed, In a notification, next to a notification after you tap on the expand, there would be the snooze notification option. If you turn this off, however, you're not going to have the ability to snooze such a notification. Let's move to the next item.
Notification.on app icon. On. Switch.
The notification dots, mine is on. Next item.
Enhanced notifications. Get suggested actions, replies, and more. On. Switch.
This is the last one. And the example of this is like when you get a message from someone, be it a regular SMS message or Telegram message or things like that, you could have suggested replies like, okay, thank you, I'll be there, things like that. If you turn this on, then you'll have that appearing alongside with the messages that you get, and you could simply tap on one of those, saving you time from opening the notification and typing your message. That's the last within this category of our notifications. I'll now go back to my home screen and go pull down the notification so that I'll show you how to go about expanding notifications, collapsing notifications, or choosing to put a notification within the silent notification or moving a notification from within the silent to the active, that is those ones that make noise. I'll now navigate my way back home.
Pixel Launcher. Revision Fitness. Out of list.
I am now home and I'll swipe down.
Notification. Quick settings.
I have my Do Not Disturb turned on, and now I'll turn it off.
On. Do not disturb. Switch.
Let's turn this off.
Music volume set to 50%. Off.
All right.
Notification shade. On. Wi-Fi signal full. Internet. The mesh.
Now let's
Switch.
look at my notifications.
Collapsed. Discover World Book Day. Read 10 free Kindle books.
Here we find something called World Book Day. I didn't know there was a book day, and it is collapsed. Let's move our finger to the right and below there to find expand. Or you could simply long press on it as well, but I'm going to move my finger right and below that.
Expand. Button.
I'm going to tap on expand.
Collapse. Button.
Tapping on expand, I'll put my finger down.
Expanded. Kindle. Discover World Book Day. Read 10 free Kindle books from around the world.
Okay.
Collapse. Button. Notification snooze options. Button.
I have the notification snoozing options. If I tap here,
Snoozed for 1 hour.
I could snooze it for 1 hour,
Undo.
or I'll undo if I have snoozed it. And that's what that is. Now, there are some notifications that will have more options than that. Let's scroll down and see what else I have.
Collapsed. Discover World Book Day. Read 10 free Kindle books.
Here we find something called World Book Day. I didn't know there was a book day, and it is collapsed. Let's move our finger to the right and below there to find expand. Or you could simply long press on it as well, but I'm going to move my finger right and below that.
Expand. Button.
I'm going to tap on expand.
Collapse. Button.
Tapping on expand, I'll put my finger down.
Notification snooze options. Button.
There's a notification snooze options, and that only has the options for the snoozing. Now, if it were a message, then we'll find other options. Let's go ahead now and go tap on collapse.
Collapse. Button.
Now that I have collapsed it, I'm going to long press on it.
Collapsed. Discover World Book Day. Read 10 free Kindle books.
Let's go ahead and long press on that.
Kindle.
I long pressed on it, and here's what we got.
More settings. Button.
There's more settings.
Selected. Button. Default. may ring or vibrate based on phone settings.
So by default, it is set to ring or make a noise. In other words, it's an active notification. It's a notification that is not in the silent notification category. This one will make a ding dong dong sound. Let's move to the next item.
Button. Silent.
If I want to make it silent, from now on, then I tap here and that will make it a silent notification.
Turn off notifications.
Or I could turn off the notifications for this particular item.
Done.
And I'll hit done. Now I'm going to hit done.
Collapsed. Discover
Now I'm
World
going to
Book
go
Day.
down and see if I have any silent notification and see how we could make it to become one that is active, that is one of those that will make the ding dong dong sounds.
Collapsed. Active foreground SPKR. Bullet. Collapsed. Cast. Collapsed. Creditor. Bullet. 7 minutes ago. Read. Collapsed. New sign in on Google Pixel 6 Pro. Clear all notifications. Button.
Now, unfortunately, I don't have any from the silent notification category, so I cannot demonstrate how you go about making a silent notification becoming one that makes noise. But it's the same idea. You simply long press on it, and there you can go choose the make active or choose the it may ring or make noise. Now, of course, you can clear all like I have here, clear all, or
Up to 70% off eBay refurbished. Bullet. 2 hours ago. Shop sustainably.
Or here's this one about eBay, and if I want to swipe that away, I simply swipe with 2 fingers from the left to the right or right to the left. I just swipe that away, and now
Collapsed. New sign in on Google Pixel 6 Pro. Bullet. Collapsed. Discover World Book Day. Read 10
that's
free
it,
Kindle.
because that the notification about the eBay was sitting between the Kindle notification and the signing in on my Pixel 6 Pro. That's how you go about managing notifications, and this concludes our look at the notification shade and from the system settings and notifications.